So glad you're here today. I'm David Sprague, and because I'm have never been more excited for what we've been able to put together, because I want to show you something that I genuinely believe is one of the most significant business opportunities that has ever been in front of any group before. And it's just opened up in the marketplace. It's something that just literally a few months ago we started to see, and now it's actually here. So by the time we're done today, I want to give you a complete blueprint, a three-step system for building a high-ticket solo AI agency that you can charge $2,000 to $5,000 a month per client, be able to create content for them completely on autopilot, and runs without having a single employee. So, but a proven system. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but we are living right now through a $1.5 trillion AI gold rush. And I want to show you today why almost everyone that's chasing this gold rush is literally missing the actual big business opportunity, and how a very small group of people are quietly positioning themselves as the most valuable experts in every local market, every niche, in every industry, securing $2,000 to $5,000 a month clients with zero employees and 100% automated fulfillment. Like, I've never even seen this before, and it's never been easier to do. And I'm going to show you live, look over my shoulder, exactly how I do it. But here's what I see happening to very talented, very experienced business people right now. Now, I think a lot of us really understand marketing. So I'm going to assume that, like, you understand content, but maybe you've been experimenting with AI tools, watching YouTube videos about the latest innovation. And every week, everyone knows there's a new one. There's some on Claude, Gemini, the latest model drops, and like there's some new workflow, and you're duct taping all that together. But here's really what's happening behind the scenes when you're up late at night like me and you're trying to fix AI, right? Is that the clients that look at this content that we're creating, like, they're saying things like, it doesn't sound like us. It doesn't feel like us. That's not really my brand. And they're asking for these edits when AI is creating this stuff. And I want to explain how to solve all that in just a few moments here. But what they're really saying is, that's not how I want to be represented in the marketplace, right? You're up early, you're trying to fix things, you're trying to really help a client out. But the worst part is that you and I, until recently, there was no real certainty. There's no real system. Like, everybody's got their direction that they're going. But today, that's completely changed. And there is a proven step-by-step system that you and I can have that leverages AI automation and a very important content intelligence. In a moment, I want to show you everything. But the one thing I want to make sure is put one of the chat box. Am I coming in okay? Everybody hear me all right? Right? Sound good? Okay, good. So the one thing I've noticed is everyone's got a big collection of tools and a lot of hope that this week, the hard work you put in, showing up on webinars, watching videos, podcasts, like that, eventually you're going to figure it out. And what's worse, and I've done a lot of this too, is when you watch someone on YouTube say, hey, I ran my entire company with AI. Look at these 22 agents running the whole operation. And you think for a second, like, what am I missing? Like, what do I need to do? How are they doing that? But when you look closer, I want to give you the confidence that they're not running their business with AI, right? What they've got is some little agent that's summarizing articles or maybe sending some messages, right? But what they've done is they've created a video just to get clicks, right? That happened to me yesterday. I saw this video on how to make Claude run your video marketing, and it showed how Claude could interact with the video editor. But then after 40 minutes later, he showed a little animation, 8 seconds long, and it was awful. It was a total rug pull. So I want to give you the confidence right now that you don't have to watch more videos. You don't have to figure that stuff out. Right now, the next few minutes, I want to take you on a different path that we've actually spent the last 2 weeks creating a blueprint for you that's step by step. So we're going to give you our proprietary process that literally helped us close 5 clients residually last week alone. Each one of these clients is worth about $2,000 a month with the package we gave them, and they paid $1,500 upfront. And believe it or not, that was super inexpensive. And you can do the same thing if you understand and follow this blueprint. Because look, after training thousands of marketers and agencies, The real problem is that businesses probably don't look at you right now as a strategic partner. They might see you as a marketer, maybe a freelancer, maybe a consultant, or worse, maybe a vendor that does their marketing. And vendors don't get $2,000 to $5,000 a month reoccurring contracts every single month, but strategic marketers and strategic partners actually do. So you need to make sure that every business you talk to sees you as a partner in this new era of AI. And that's what businesses are really looking for. So today, I want to show you a blueprint, a 3-step system that can change everything for you. In step 1, I want to walk you through how any business in any city, in any industry you talk to, you just talk to them for 8 minutes, and they're going to lean in and ask you, can you do that for me? Just 8 minutes, just 8-minute conversation. I want to take you through it. No cold pitching, no convincing. They're going to literally be lining up for you. And then step 2, I want to show you how to build the one thing that every business needs before AI can even help them. The one thing you're going to need before you can actually leverage AI to help any business. And that's where you can charge $2,500 to $5,000 to do it. So this is a high ticket entry point that you're going to love, where you can actually get 2 or 3 clients every single week if you wanted to. And then step 3, I want to show you how to turn that foundation that we just built in step 1 and 2 into automatic residual monthly recurring income with videos, articles, high converting social media, so you can get high ticket $2,000 to $5,000 clients. That sound good, everyone? Yes? Put one in the chat box. It's very lock and load, because this next few minutes is going to be mind blowing. Things you've never even seen before in the marketplace, because everything you're about to leverage with, and you knew about AI marketing, is going to be redefined over the next few minutes, because you'll know exactly what to say to a business owner in the first 8 minutes, and then get them to lean in and them now want to work with you without closing them, without learning how to sell. And you'll see this 3-step business model that generates literally $2,000 to $5,000 per client without fulfilling. And AI is going to be running in the background doing all this for you. And you'll be one of the first to take advantage of this new industry that literally no one's talking about yet. Create a pipeline of ready to buy customers. And the best part is the strategies I'm going to give you in this blueprint works for any business, any industry, even e-com, right? Everything, coaches, consultants, franchises, financial institutions, you name it, this can actually work for them. So let's jump in. And I want to give you a little bit of a kind of a state of the union, I guess, if you will, because before I show you this blueprint, I want to make sure that you understand what most people have no idea is happening in the marketplace. And I think it's one of the most important things you can understand right now to get clients fast. So let's address the elephant in the room, right? AI is mainstream right now. It's not coming. It's not like far away. It's here right now. Business owners have heard of ChatGPT. They've heard of Claude. They've heard the buzz about OpenClaw and all its potential. Their employees are experimenting with it. Their competitors are talking about it on the golf course with them, right? And these business owners are feeling something that they haven't felt in a long time. They feel behind, like they're missing something really big, and they don't know how to catch up. But here's what's fascinating right now. AI and this new power, right, that's now gone mainstream, is not made anything more simple for any business. It's made actually business more confusing, because now they actually are being pulled in thousands of directions, trying to figure out everything, different voices saying things completely different what to do. And right now, the AI experts themselves are divided into 2 camps. So camp number 1, look at your screen, take very good notes here. Camp number 1 is about those people saying that, look, don't worry, just wait. A new version of AI is going to come out, and it's going to be smarter, more capable, and eventually AI is going to be smart enough that can actually run your business. So sit back, it's coming. And to prove it, right, these people make videos, right? They make podcasts, and they show their 12 AI agents that are running their operations. You see their dashboards, it looks incredible. But what they aren't addressing is these so-called agents are just doing silly stuff. They're not really running their business. There's no real truth behind that business to actually help that AI do anything worth significance at all. The content goes out. Maybe they created a video, but the audience is engaged. They don't get views, but they show these in these videos thinking we're missing something, and we're really not. What we're really missing isn't those AI agents. It's something completely different to help AI run that I want to break it down for you step by step. So that's camp number one, saying, hey, AI is going to run everything. Don't worry about it. Camp number two, and this is the big shift. Camp number two believes that every industry is completely different, and every business within that industry is completely different. Different specializations, different departments, different customers, different relationships, different ways of doing business. Even competitors doing the exact same thing in the same city are different. So think about two dentists, same zip code, one focuses on anxious patients, the other focus is on holistic care and feeling safe. The one is high-end cosmetic practice, right, who wants fast premium results. Completely two different worlds, two different messages. How is AI ever going to know the difference between that if you're putting generic information in about dentistry? So Camp 2 says, before I touch AI, you need to build a foundation that gives you the model and strategy that helps represent that business. So the content you create becomes extraordinary. Camp number 2 is building AI ready businesses. And the difference is the output, the quality. So this is what experts are divided, is that, and this is why it really matters in the next few minutes here. Every YouTube video, every podcast, every LinkedIn post, they're being told to wait, to subscribe, to keep watching. Does that make sense to you? No wonder they're out there saying, don't worry about AI, just keep watching for the next drop and we're going to teach it to you, when they're not helping businesses actually get ready for AI. So does it make sense so far? Yes? So two camps, which camp are you? I'm in camp 2, which I know that businesses need to be ready. So next is, I think, more critical than that, which brings us to note number 2, which is the big thing you've got to know right now is AI is going to pick the winners and losers in every single industry, in every single niche, in every single city. And it's not going to pick them based on their talent or their products or their services. It's going to pick them because of if they're ready for AI. Let me say it again. AI is going to pick the winners and losers of every business based on one important factor. What is that business ready for AI? You see, businesses have built the right foundations, the ones where AI knows exactly who they are, what they sell, how they speak, what they look like, all the benefits. Those businesses are going to produce content at a velocity and consistency that their competitors simply can't match. They're going to leapfrog over them. No matter how big or how small, if they just started literally in the last year, they're going to have the massive advantage. And they're going to do it incredibly fast. So think about what that looks like on the ground. One business is publishing 6 videos, 10 articles, 30 social media posts, all on brand, all consistent, all building authority every single month. The other competitor is still writing one blog post every few weeks, then using ChatGPT to create some generic content, wondering if anyone will ever find them. The gap between those two businesses isn't talent. It's not budget. It's AI readiness. And the gap is going to widen every single month from here. And this is where you come in. Because right now, not a few years, but right now, business owners in every city, in every industry need you because they're waking up to this. They need someone to help them. They need someone to actually guide them to get their business ready for AI. They've heard of Claude. They've tried ChatGPT. They've tried prompting, right? But they still aren't figuring it out. They need someone to come in, build a foundation that actually makes AI actually work for them. And that's what this blueprint that I'm going to give you step by step is. But before I show you this 3-step blueprint, here's one more thing I need you to know, that when you see it, you can't unsee it. And that is 99% of businesses. Let me say it again. 99% of businesses have the wrong business foundation for AI. And that's what's opening up a billion-dollar new industry. A brand new category that didn't even exist a few years ago. Now, almost no one knows about it. Be able to help businesses, because marketers right now are still stuck because the first thing out of their mouth is selling their marketing services. So let me slow this down a minute. This is critical. It's a massive shift. Put one in the chat box when you get this, when this becomes an aha moment for you. Give me some feedback here. 99% of these businesses need AI built. The way they built their business is built completely different because they built their business 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. They built their business around tools and systems that AI wasn't existing at the time. And the system they built was documentation called SOPs, standard operating procedures. And if you've ever walked into a business and asked to see their SOPs or their standard operating procedures, you know what happens next? They chuckle, they laugh a little, right? They look slightly embarrassed because they built some standard operating procedures and how to do things and how to answer the phone and how to do that procedure, or how to market, or how they post on social media, but no one's looked at them since they actually built them. Or the process has changed, but they never updated the document. They built, when they brought on new staff, they didn't follow the SOP like the office manager trained them, right? And nothing was ever documented. So does that make sense to everyone? For one of the chat box, that makes sense. Are you following me so far? So this is a critical understanding of what's going on, because here's the gap that no one's talking about. Even a perfect standard operating procedure can't make a business AI ready, because an SOP tells what to do. It does not tell who the business is. It does not tell AI how the business speaks. It does not tell AI what the business sells and why it sells it. This is the big pivot. It doesn't tell anything specific about what the product actually means to the customer. If you hand a large language model a standard operating procedure and ask it to represent your brand, it will still work from a blank canvas and guess and ruin that brand. So what every business needs today is not an SOP. The new SOP is called an SOT, a source of truth. So what's a source of truth? First, it's not a standard operating procedure, right? A source of truth is a core code of conduct for a business. It's a set of foundational documents that tells AI not just what the business does, but who the business is, how the business speaks, what the business looks like, what products and services they sell, what it truly means to the people that it serves. And here's what makes it completely different than an SOP and any other document they've ever built. A source of truth doesn't get layered or added on top of. It doesn't drift in what it means over time. When something changes in a business, the old source of truth version gets deleted, completely removed, and the new one goes in its place. So there's no contradiction. There's no conflict. AI pulls from the truth every single time and creates and reflects the truth consistently. And that's where you get brand clarity and incredible content. I was just in a meeting just about 2 weeks ago, and I was in a room with business owners running from $20 million to $50 million a year companies, not small businesses, owners that always think about how they grow their business, experienced operators that were trying to figure out how to use AI in their business. Now, one guy had a $20 million a year nonprofit, and he asked, hey, how can I get AI to work for me? And how do I automate this content to get it out faster so I don't have to deal with it? It's just overwhelming to me. And I said to him, which kind of shocked everyone, I said, hey, I love the question, but if you're asking how can I get AI to help me with content to get out faster, that's the wrong question. The right question is, am I ready for AI? And then I asked, so where are the documents that document your 5 target markets that donate to your charity? Do you have the demographics? Do you have the psychographics in a document? If not, how is AI going to able to create a video script that speaks to them unless you want AI just to guess and ruin your brand? And then I explained what a source of truth was, just like I explained to you right now. It's not a single one of them has ever heard of a source of truth. Let me say it again. Not a single business owner had ever heard of what a source of truth is. So for one of the chat boxes, if you're like, ooh, that's kind of an aha moment. I don't think anyone's talking about this. It's because they're not. Now I want to stop right here, because if this is an aha moment for you, what I have to share with you next is going to just skyrocket everything. So give me some feedback here. Does that make sense? Because when I walked them through this, when I showed them exactly why their business couldn't truly leverage AI without it, the room went completely silent. Like the questions start pouring in, like, oh, how do you build one? And how long does it take? And What does something like that cost? I mean, I didn't have to sell anything. They were literally willing to write a check right then and there before I even gave them a single number. Because once a business owner understands that their business isn't AI ready and that there's a specific buildable concrete way to fix that, they don't want to wait. They want it done. And if they understand who can do it, they want them to do it right now. And that's the big opportunity. That's the billion-dollar industry that's opening up for you right now. And now don't ask me, hey, what niche is the best niche? It's every niche right now. Like it's like 1999 when no one had a website and you're building websites right now. So please write this down because every time I say this to a prospect, I tell them, now when you're building a business, there are 4 main criteria that AI can automate that you're going to need a source of truth. There is sales and marketing, there's operations, there's fulfillment, and customer service. Let me say that one more time for everyone. Write this down. When you're talking to a prospect or a business owner, you say, hey, there's 4 areas, main areas. You can get to 10 areas if you want, but really 4. Sales and marketing, operations, fulfillment, customer service. Then I tell them my main expertise is in marketing. And then I break down the source of truth and what that means in marketing. And they're always on the edge of their seats. So does that make sense so far? Yes? Any questions on that? So this training is going to give you the blueprint for exactly what I do, exactly what I say. Because when it comes to marketing specifically, the source of truth is built around 4 pillars. And I want to walk you through them. But for right now, I just want you to sit with this, that almost no business right now that you ever talk to is going to know these 4 things or have these 4 things built, not one of them. So the big opportunity is every business in every city, in every niche is sitting on a massive problem that they don't even know they have right now. And the solution is they're going to pay you $2,500 to $5,000 to actually build it for them before a single piece of content ever gets created. I know because when I started my camp, I needed a mission, vision, values. It's a nonprofit. And that mission, vision, values cost me $5,000, right? It took me 3 months to build and 2 hours a week just for that. They didn't give me any demographic, psychographic strategies. They didn't give me anything what I'm going to share with you right now. So the $5,000 is $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 is cheap for what you're going to be able to give them, leveraging the power of AI. So that's what makes it completely different from any other marketing agency, any other vendor, any other conversation you're ever going to have. And this is a really exciting time because businesses need you right now. So before we jump into the blueprint, I'm going to tell you that I've only seen this opportunity once before. It's about 10 years ago. And when it comes to opportunity, that's all about timing. Over a decade ago, we saw a big shift in the marketplace. A lot of you have been customers of ours for a while. So 10 years ago, it was reputation, right? And when the industry hadn't caught up with what reputation was doing and how businesses were using it, but we saw it. So instead of watching it unfold on the sidelines, we jumped in and started building around it and putting our whole business around that. That allowed us to grow spectacularly to reach Inc. 500, Inc. 5,000's fastest growing companies. And right now, I'm seeing the very same similar opening that each one of us can take advantage of with this $1.5 trillion opening that's happening with AI infrastructure where everything's changing. And this isn't just such a fad, right? This is a new state of economy. So the mission is really simple today: to help you achieve extraordinary success with AI. Not because AI is some nice object or nice, shiny, next new toy. So if you got shiny object syndrome, right, this is perfect for you, but this isn't a shiny object. This is how businesses are going to actually thrive in the next few months. Make sense? So let's jump in to the blueprint. So this blueprint we're going to call the Solo High Ticket AI Agency. So what I'm about to take you through is a system that changes everything, not just how you work, but the way the market sees you, how your clients find you, how income flows to you. The blueprint has 3 steps and it makes everything super easy. And it's different from anything you've probably ever tried or even seen before because we lead with value first, not your services, not who you are, but we lead with their problem and how to solve their problem. You're never pushy. You don't have to learn sales. You never have to be convincing. You're always leading. And the client is always the one asking, hey, what do we do next? When can we start? So step one is called the AI Readiness Audit. It's something free we give away. It's an 8-minute conversation I want to take you through in just a few moments here. And by the end of that conversation, the business owner across from you understands something about their business they've never understood before. And they immediately see that this is incredibly valuable. And you're the first person that's ever told them this. And then step two is called the AI Readiness Source of Truth Package. Your first high ticket agreement that you're going to make money on, which is $2,500 to $5,000. It's a one-time foundational build that takes literally minutes to build with AI. And we'll show you exactly how we do that. And this allows you to build it once, and everything you're going to do, every marketing, every article, any video, social media is going to leverage what you built there to do something incredible. Now, the best part is step three is where we start building monthly content that builds a big monthly residual, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month. So we're going to show you a monthly content engine where you can do videos, articles, social media posts, and deliver it every single month, fully automated, completely on brand, reoccurring income that arrives like clockwork without you ever having to do the work. Make sense? Okay, cool. So real quickly here, I'm having more of a fireside chat with you. So if I'm saying things and you're expecting the screen to change, it's not. This is me giving you the raw data as best I can. So I'm happy to answer all your questions. Just know that it's going to be very simple screens here. I know a lot of you, I rip through like 40, 50 screens in a training, but this is completely different. So let's talk about the solo high ticket agency blueprint. Because in step one, and I love this step because it costs your client nothing, and yet it opens up every high ticket relationship you're ever going to need. It's called the AI Readiness Audit. And here's what it is. It's a free audit that you do for a business. It's valued at $500 and takes about 30 minutes of conversation. And the whole thing centers around 4 main questions. So now these aren't complicated questions, right? They're not technical. You don't have to learn anything. You have to know anything about marketing. You just have to ask them. They don't require a business owner really to understand anything. You just want to get the information from them so that you can use AI to actually build around it. They're actually really simple. So when a business owner hears them for the first time, it really sits with them. And I find that their mind shifts when I ask questions like, hey, does AI know who you are as a business? Does AI know what you sell? Does AI know how you serve or who you serve? Does AI know your content strategy? Where is that written down? 4 questions, that's it. And I want you to notice something. Every single one of them starts with, does AI know? Not, are you using AI? Not, have you tried AI? But AI does actually know, does it know the business, right? Does it understand that when it's going to create something for you, exactly what to do, exactly what you want? And most every business owner will ask, and no matter how big the company is, no matter how long they've been in business, they literally stop and they have to think because they've never thought about it that way before. And that pause is your gate to creating a customer. Does that make sense? So let's talk about this AI market readiness audit because I want to get into exactly what we say and how we say it. And this is what's helped us close 5 clients last week alone. So this is the exact psychology because once you understand this, you're going to walk away with every one of these conversations and be able to get into them with any business owner with complete confidence. So the AI readiness audit isn't a sales pitch dressed up like a consultation. It's literally a genuine diagnostic leadership conversation. And the reason it works so powerful is because the questions themselves reveal a gap in the business that the owner didn't even know exists. You're not convincing them of anything. You're not presenting a deck or making a case for anything. You're just asking 4 simple questions and letting the answers do all the work. This gap itself when someone discovers they have this in their business, they want to fix it. They want to fix it fast. So now here's the mindset shift I want you to carry into every conversation you have. Because here's how it flows. You sit down with the business owner, it could be a coffee meeting, Zoom call, walk-in, doesn't matter. And you open up with this framing, no matter what they say. I mean, no matter what they say, no matter where the conversation goes. So it's raining outside, the water's wet, sky's blue, whatever it is. I just look for the right time to say, hey, most business owners that I speak with, they're asking the wrong question about AI. They're asking, which tool should I use? Or why isn't my content working? Or how do I get AI to sound more like me? All great questions, but they're the wrong starting point. The right question is your business ready? Because if the foundation isn't there, if AI doesn't know who you are, what you sell, or who you serve, or the content strategy, what that strategy is, then the tools don't matter. The platform doesn't matter. You can have access to the most powerful AI in the world and still produce content that sounds generic, and it could be for any business. And you didn't build your business, and you're not in business where you spent years and years and years building and slaving and putting all that extra time in, where 14-hour days just to feel generic, right? Put one in the chat box if you get that. Does that make sense to you? Come on, I need feedback on this, because I'm literally giving you the keys of the kingdom here about exactly what's being said, how you're going to be successful. Good? Okay, good. And so when you walk in as a person like this and reframes that type of question, so let's stop asking about what tools or whether they're using AI, what they want to do with AI, right? Because that's what vendors say. That's what marketers say, or consultants, right? You want to be an advisor. You want to be a partner. So you're the expert that they've actually been waiting for. And again, this is what's going to command that $2,000 to $5,000 a month. So let me explain exactly how this flows. So let's talk about this 8-minute simple conversation, right? Where when you understand this, you'll feel like there's no competition anymore. Every time you talk, like you're the only one in the room. You're the only one they're going to do business with. Because there's 3 things you want to walk them through. Just 3 talking points. That's it. In 8 minutes. And honestly, the conversations usually goes a little longer, but by the end, the reason it's so long is they have a lot more questions. So first is AI experts and owners are in one of 2 camps. Walk them through exactly what I just told you, exactly what you just learned. Camp 1 is waiting. Camp 2 is building. And you ask them, which camp is their business in? Or what camp are they in? And most of the time, they'll recognize themselves in camp 1 immediately, and they won't be proud of it. Put one in the chat box that makes sense. Like, ooh, I got that. Did you realize the whole time that I've been training you, I've been teaching you at the same time exactly what to say, exactly what to do? I wanted you to experience it first, because you were in camp 1, weren't you? You put yourself in camp 1. You don't have a source of truth. You weren't getting your business ready for AI. You've been watching the videos like everyone else has been, right? Okay, good, good. That was the aha moment I wanted you to get, because that was me too. So that's the first thing, the 2 camp strategy. Second is AI needs a source of truth, and that SOPs don't work. This is the usual moment that they get really quiet, because it makes people sense that they're processing. So look, if they don't talk back to you, that's okay, because again, they're processing this information. They knew there was a missing piece, but no one told them about this, right? So the silence isn't a negative. It's a really good thing, because they've got SOPs, right? They got standard operating procedures. But what they don't realize in that moment, and no one's actually told them, is that they need a source of truth, and that's a new type of build. It's a new type of work they've got to do. It's going to take some work. They got to roll up their sleeves and figure it out, right? So the third thing I say is, if AI could run your business, is your business ready? And you let that land. Don't push past it. Let them sit on a question, because most of the time, they already know the answer. And hearing themselves admit it is what moves them forward. Make sense? And then here's where you close. So I want to give you almost exactly what I say. So here's what I'd love to do for you. I'd like to help you by waiving our $500 research, consulting, and AI readiness audit costs. And I'll spend 30 minutes with you, and I'll ask you some questions about your business. We'll record the conversation, and then let my team and I will hand you an AI readiness assessment of exactly what you need to do in your business to grow with AI when it comes to your marketing. Checkbox, step-by-step, completely free to you. When's a good time? That offer is almost impossible to say no to, because it's free, because it's specific, and because you've already shown them the gap. They're not agreeing to a pitch. They're agreeing to getting clarity on something that's already bothering them. And that's the easiest yes I think you're ever going to get. Make sense? Okay, so let's go over this step one so we're super clear on this. Now that I've shared our secret, now just give me a little feedback. We've got hundreds of people on the line here. Just put one in the chat box before I get to step two that you would like me, if you would like me to teach more on this and train more on this. So you get more information, you get detailed. I'm getting detailed, but I'm still going a little high level. So give me some feedback on that. Yes? Has this been helpful so far? Okay. Also, those of you, put one in the chat box to give me some feedback too. Can you see yourself doing that conversation? Or two, if you can't, like, that's too difficult. It's too much for me. Yeah, okay. So I haven't seen any twos yet, but don't let me discourage you. Just want to make sure I've made this as easy as possible. Okay, good. So I just want you to understand that this step one is critical for every business. Just think of the dentist, like the local roofer, the franchise down the street, the e-commerce brand, the financial advisor. Every single one of them is sitting on the exact same problem. And almost none of them know about it yet until they meet you. So let me ask this question a different way, right? Because I want to make sure that this isn't beyond your ability. Those 4 questions, that's because some of you are asking questions right now. That's all you're going to do. You're just asking them those 4 questions. It's nothing difficult. And you're just going to go with that little script. And I can actually write that out for you if you guys want that a little bit later. So let's now step into step number 2. Now, I want to assume a few things here. That they've just said yes to the audit, right? You sat down with them for 30 minutes. You've recorded the conversation. You've gotten their answers. And once you've got that transcript, that's gold. You can run that transcript through an AI or an agent and do some prompting that creates an incredible report. Now, we do that, and I can show you how we do that in just a few minutes here, but I just want to let you know that's what you do. It's that simple. Now, for those that want a really fast way, again, I want to show you the software that we have that builds those reports automatically, so you don't have to build it or even lift a finger. And I want to show you that in just a few minutes. But honestly, based on what I've shown you right now, again, you just take the transcript, you run it through a few AI prompts, or build a simple agent, and it will build a step-by-step checklist for you that you can give to them that is going to be amazing. They're absolutely going to love it. So the report is what changes everything in the client relationship, because it's a checklist, right? A real checklist, not vague recommendations, not a general overview. It's specific, itemized, breakdown, step-by-step. And it's really broken down into 3 major areas. So let me explain these 3. And there's more categories, but for this training, I'm going to just do 3 of them. Brand readiness. And so I break it down into brand readiness, which is what AI knows about your business, your mission, your vision, your values, your uniqueness in the market, your backstory, your brand voice. That's brand readiness. And then you've got offer readiness. Like, does AI know so that it can actually build videos, articles, content around your products and services? So here's what AI doesn't know about, like, does it have photos? Does it have descriptions? Does it know your target market? The benefits of each of your products and services? Why do people buy that product, right? What does it solve? And then third is a content strategy readiness. So in this audit that we hand them, we give them a content strategy readiness. And here's the cool part. This is where your strategy of what you sell comes in. So essentially, right, the content strategy readiness That's you giving them advice about what they should do first, second, third, or fourth. So if they have number 1 and 2, which is their brand readiness and their market readiness done, now what do they do next? Like, what's the plan? So put one in the chat box if that makes sense, that you insert your strategy. And by the way, give me a little feedback here. Put 2 in the chat box if you don't have a plan for somebody, or 3 if you do. Give me some feedback on that. 2, I don't have a plan. 3 is I do have a plan. Okay. Okay. So yeah, a lot of 2s. That's good. Okay, good. 2.5, Joe. All right, that's good. So good. Let me give you a plan that I don't think most of us have even seen before. And so, because see, when you hand that to a business owner, they sit there and they read it. They've never seen anything like this before. Like, this is their go-to. And they look at it and go, wow, I had no idea. You know why? Because nobody's ever told them. Nobody's ever put anything in front of them like this. So here's something I think you really want to hear, because that checklist is going to show a lot of gaps, real gaps. And fixing those gaps, doing it manually, figuring it all out on their own, that's going to take weeks, even months for them. And they still probably wouldn't get it right because they don't know what they're building towards. They don't have a goal. They don't have a plan. So I want to show you in a few moments here the right tools to leverage AI to build the right process. So what would take them months, you can do in minutes, not hours, but minutes. And this is so crazy. I just love where we're at right now with AI. So, and again, once you see this, you can't unsee it. So now that you've got that checklist to them, they can see exactly where their business, what's missing, and they're going to look to you, the person that helped them, that gave them clarity, the person that took their time and built relationship with them, went out of their way and waived their fees so they could get a plan in place. And that leads us to step 2, which is on your screen, the AI Market Readiness Source of Truth package. This is a solution that actually solves everything on that checklist, every single one, and you can deliver it in a fraction of time that they'd actually expected. So let's jump in here and let's talk about this. So this package is made up of 4 things that you're going to give them. The first is your brand identity, and you're actually going to charge for this. So this is where you're going to be able to charge them $2,500 to $5,000 to actually do this. Because remember, they got this checklist. They want to get it solved. They want to do it right now. So, and if, by the way, if some of you go, wait, everything here that you just, I don't know how to do. I've never done this before. It feels like a lot of work. If you didn't have AI, I'd agree with you, but it would take years of expertise even to understand brand voice strategy. So, and by the way, I wouldn't even try it. Like, if you didn't have AI, I wouldn't even try it. But because of what we have and the software we have and the automation tools we have, you can just do this in minutes. It's so easy to do. So the best part is, really the hard part of all this is what you just did in step 1, which is have that 8-minute conversation. That's it. Everything else is easy. I want to be sharing with you. So I was getting the, what's the direction I want to take you in right now? Okay. So let me say this. Some of you I know have never sold high ticket in your life, or maybe you don't have clients, or maybe you are a little concerned because, you wouldn't spend $2,000 or $3,000. But the secret is that you're not doing the work, right? That's why I'm giving this blueprint. AI is going to do everything for you. And here's what I want to understand. Like, the future is, you got to stop thinking about you and your skill set, and you have to be the expert. Look, I'm not writing scripts to produce a video, Facebook ads. AI is, right? I'm not, building videos and editing. AI is going to do all that, right? So the future isn't about you being an expert. The future is about you understanding the process and building a relationship and guiding people through. That's it. So now you got this package that's $2,000 to $4,000 that you can actually sell. And it's got 4 components to it. Brand identity, right? Mission, vision, values. And this is going to actually help you because the demographics, the psychographics, the empathy maps, unique mechanism, what makes them different from everyone else, their origin story. This is all the things you're going to do in a simple 90-minute interview. So you're going to take a 90-minute interview and you're going to ask them 18 questions. Those 18 questions are going to build most of all of this. And that's it. It's that simple. 90 minutes, it's all done because AI is going to do it all. So your brand voice, the tone, the personality, style, the words we use, audience profiles, all done. Then your brand image gallery. That's a little bit different. And I cannot wait to share with you how we do this. But the fourth is a brand image gallery. This is what helps every single business when they're doing articles, videos, social media posts, that all their images are on brand. Because I can tell you this, no matter how much you actually prompt, that prompt is going to show off, it's going to create an image, if you're doing AI images, where it doesn't go on brand. So we prepare all that ahead of time. Now, in the past, that was like a $3,000 photo shoot, right? But today we can do it with AI. I want to show you how we do it. It's insane. And then a product service source of truth, which is taking their top 12 products or services, taking the problem they solve, the benefits, the key differentiators, the proof, the pricing framework, the market awareness, and just interviewing them about that. Because no one's ever taken the time to do this. So for one of the chat boxes that makes sense, like, ooh, they're never going to do this. They need me, right? And in the past, this is a literally $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 worth of work that would take weeks of work, but not anymore. I mean, look at Clarence, brand voice interview. He did a brand voice interview, changed everything. Clients become skeptical. They leave fired up because for the first time, they actually see their brand clearly. Close a $5,000 a month client because the groundwork was already laid. Look at John. Brand voice interview sells itself. Once they see their mission, vision, values, brand persona mapped out, they understand what they've been missing. $5,000 a month core service. This is what's happening. And by the way, these two testimonials were not the package I just shared with you. It was only brand voice. They didn't do a gallery. They didn't do product and service AI audits. So now this is going to go way up for them. They're probably going to charge $8,000 to $10,000. But I just want to give you the insights of what we're doing here because it is incredible and it's just so easy to do. So let's do a quick review here. AI Readiness Audit helps your residual package because remember in step number 1, right? We did a AI readiness audit that handed them a report and they saw the gaps. They said, yes, I need this. Then you do a 90-minute market readiness source of truth package where you run the transcript and you hand them something they've never had before, which is a complete brand identity, brand voice, brand gallery, and product and services, and a source of truth that they pay you $2,000, $4,000 to do. Now, remember back in the original readiness audit, we gave 3 things. Remember the 3 things, right? We did market offer readiness, right? We did brand readiness. What was the third? What was the third? What was the third? Do you remember? Come on. It wasn't images. It was content strategy. Jay, could you put your email in? I want to send you a $25 gift card to Amazon. Great job. No, it was not SOT. It was your content strategy. So we did 3 things. I want to make sure you're paying attention. Content strategy. So now that leads us to step 3. It was content strategy readiness, which remember I said is your strategy of what they want to do next, right? Their brand is ready. Their offers are all documented. Their products and services are all documented. AI knows exactly who they are, how they sound, what they should look, what they should sell. But now the third piece is the content strategy. So now this becomes super easy because we told them in the audit, showed them the gap that they have no plan, they've got no foundation, and now you can go back and tell them. You don't have to you don't have to sell them. You have to convince them of anything. You just show them what it looks like. So now you've got your high ticket client paying you every single month to do monthly content fulfillment. Does that make sense? Everything's building on each other. This AI market readiness just shouldn't sit around. They need now to put it in action. Which leads us to step 3. So everything we built up to this point is the foundation for this, where they start paying us every single month. Your client now has a complete source of truth, knows exactly who they are. AI It knows exactly what products they sell. And that's what a monthly AI content engine actually answers. Look, it's really critical that you understand that this monthly AI content engine is the solution, but it's got two main ingredients. So this is how I sell this. So pay very close attention to what I'm going to say next, because nobody is selling services this way. And it makes it so easy to sell if you explain these two ingredients. Now, ingredient number one is content intelligence. Now, content intelligence is you leveraging AI on any topic, any question, anything that they actually, you can take from their source of truth, and it goes online and it researches. So for example, if you're typing in teeth whitening, it's going to go to Google. It's going to research the top 10 articles. It's going to look at each article, the search intent, the point of view, the voice, how much media, how many images they got. And then here's the critical part I want you to get. For the first time ever, they have two things working together. They have their source of truth, which is their products, their services, what they do, AI knows, and now AI knows what's ranking in the marketplace. And these two together are unstoppable. Put one in the chat box if that's, you get that. Like, ooh, that's the missing part right there. Bottom left, AI didn't know who they were, and it didn't know what is actually getting views. Now it knows what they are and what gets views. Now put them together, and it's like rocket fuel for what you do. But you can just do one, and it's not going to do much, but who knows? You might have one video go viral. But this is where content consistency comes in. These three AI systems either working for you or working against you, which is for search algorithm, for followers algorithm, and the for you algorithm. So now we have to look and go, okay, we need a plan for this. And only experts know how to put all this together. But now AI knows how to put it all together. So we could now take that source of truth for their product and what's actually ranking and create content for search, content for social, content for video. And then unlocking all these three amplifiers together for any business is so powerful. So we can hack these amplifiers that are promoting businesses right now, because they're the ones that choose the winners and the losers, by making sure two things happen when it comes to consistency. One is it's frequent. The algorithm rewards consistent publishing of content. One article a week, one social post a day, one video a week, consistent. But then there's consistency number two, which is recency. You know how many times, this is crazy. I go, hey, so let's do a video on teeth whitening. Oh, we already did something on teeth whitening. Oh, what'd you do? We did a video. Would you do an article? No. You did a video. Well, when did you do the video? About 2 years ago. Oh, you've arrived. Congratulations. You should be getting so many calls right now. But what's happening? Are you getting calls? No. Why? Because you don't have recency. So for example, teeth whitening, there's a big difference between if you post on teeth whitening one time a year, one time a quarter, or one time a month. And then all of a sudden the business owner, their jaw drops. They're like, whoa, that makes sense. So how do we get consistent content on the marketplace? So give me some feedback here. Put one in the chat box. Does that make sense? Content consistency with content intelligence. Woo! Those are the two ingredients. Look at Diane. I can't believe how much traffic came to our blog today. Thank you, David, for your team for this. Look, just skyrocketing when this happens. Wow. Absolute brand new blog. Just skyrocketing. Look at this. 10,800 in a month in the last 30 days. Just incredible. Look at Rob. 558 views already in just a few days posting a video. Why? Because he's actually putting this stuff together. 18,000 views in 45 days on a brand new channel on YouTube just doing video. The expensive reality of traditional content is staggering. There is still a major gap here. Businesses are still using professional writers, content graphics, SEO specialists, because they have to. There is no system out there unless you duct tape a whole bunch of stuff together, and that's what they're running around doing, overwhelmed. So if you're at just articles alone, $200-300 for just one really good cornerstone article. If you did 10 articles a month or 30 social media posts or 4 videos, it's like $3,500 to $5,000. That's what agencies charge today, every single day. It's normal. So you can literally charge half that if you use AI, and you can go, and it's so ridiculously easy to have that conversation. So now, granted, this can even be more expensive, because if you got like trucks and logos and t-shirts and packaging and business location, you have content that you have to have photos for, you have to do a photo shoot. You have to get that content in there somehow. So here's the question we asked ourselves. Could we make an all-in-one platform that anyone could use with zero experience to automate the content intelligence, content consistency, and build content velocity, allowing any business consultant or administrator to do in minutes what takes weeks or months to create? And I love this because I'm so excited, because while your competitors are creating 1 to 2 articles a month, you can create 6 to 10. While you're targeting one keyword, you can target 3 to 5. While spending $5,000 on content, you spend a fraction of that. And guess what works? Not anymore. We can use content intelligence to know what works and feed that into AI. What takes months to see results, we can actually see results in weeks. So I want to welcome you to a preview of our all-in-one platform, a drag and drop easy solution to enter any topic and create articles, videos, social media that would take months to actually create. So I hope you're ready to see what's possible, because I want to break this down for you. Watch very closely what I'm going to do. This is a workflow